right now, Pastor Dr. Two-Star Wafer, honey, is on the call. So I welcome you to the call right now, dear. Take it over.
All right. Thank you, babe. Thank you so much for introducing everyone to this great day that we are having here, this Friday, a great, spectacular day, and looking forward to our guests on the call today. And again, I'm Dale Wafer, Two-Star, with my business partner, Two-Star, Dr. Denise McDowell. And we're so happy to have you on the Team Effort Lifestyle call today. We're wrapping up 4 great days of testimony and great instruction from our coaches. We've had a great week this week, and want to get you guys fired up for the weekend. As you go into the weekend, sharing this opportunity, sharing this product, this amazing product with people in their lives. Dave, I know you guys had Vic Wilbur on yesterday. I got so many text messages about how great a call that was for him to be on the call. It was the first time him being on the call talking about his testimony, and he was really excited about what was taking place and what was happening in his life, and never been able to get below 300 pounds. And now, man, he's below 300 pounds and still dropping. Boy, I tell you, that was an exciting call you guys did last night. We got so many people texting and talking about that call. And that's what it's about, guys. It's about helping people get to their goals, helping people to be successful and becoming healthier. You may not need to lose weight, but you may need to be healthier. And that's one of the things that we're doing with our 10-week health and wellness weight loss challenge. Is that we're in week 5 tomorrow. We'll weigh in at week 5, and we're going to have some great testimonies tomorrow. I know of people losing more weight and excited about what's taking place. And some of the people, really don't need to lose too much weight. But what happened is they're getting in shape. They're getting in exercise. They're letting the product that they're using begin to help them to stop snacking so much on junk food. And, and that's what it's about, is creating an awareness in people's mind what they can do and what they can be, and not being imprisoned to the bodies that they have. And so this has been a great experience with these products. They're helping people open up the prison doors and walk out of the prisons that their bodies have had them in, to get control of their health and take control of their bodies. And Wilbur just one great testimony yesterday of how great the product is. So we're really excited about what we're seeing in people's life and what we're hearing in their testimonies. And so we're going to continue that ride today, and we're going to go all the way out to Dayton, Ohio, as we talk to our friends out there. Denise Moore is an amazing leader in our company, and she's got in our company and just took off and built a great team. And she got a team of leaders and co-laborers that are really helping her and the movement down there, and it's really shaping up really fantastic all over the Dayton and Cincinnati, Columbus area, and really excited about that. So we have a guest on today that's part of Denise's team, and her name is Lynn Thornhill, and we got to have her on. Lynn, are you on with us?
Yes, I am. I am here, Pastor Dale. How are you doing?
Well, Lynn, how are you?
I am doing great. Just really
well, good. Well, it's always good to hear your voice, and thank you for joining us today. And tell us what's on your heart today. What you got some great news for us today?
Well, let's see. Denise told me just to talk about. We always talk about new ideas and just and not even necessarily new ideas, just things to further your business and the things that you need to be doing. And one of the things that you always talk about so eloquently is income-producing activities. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that, because Denise and I, every time we're talking on the phone, we're always thinking of different ways to take our business to the next level. But no matter what you do, you cannot leave out that very, very important task of making sure that you have income, because let's face it, that's really what we're in this business for. We are definitely about changing lives and helping other people, but we are absolutely about producing income. So I kind of went out there looking at some of the leaders in the industry, and I came across a young lady, Lynn Clark, and she's a dynamic home-based leader and entrepreneur, and she's a great leader for female entrepreneurs. So one of the things that she talks about, I just want to hit on a couple of things. One of the things that she talks about is when starting your home-based business, there's so much to learn, especially if you're not a seasoned person. So it can be a little bit overwhelming because you spend a lot of time learning new skills. You're on these conference calls, you're in tutorials, you're taking a lot of notes and doing webinars. So it can all be a little bit overwhelming. So first thing you got to do is just kind of stop and take a deep breath, because it is going to get better and it is going to get a little bit easier. You just have to really just take it one step at a time. And, it's often said that you can eat an elephant, you just got to eat it one bite at a time. So I always like to make things simple so I can break them down. You always have your large goal out there. But then at the end of the day, after you've got that goal, you've got what you want to do, then you just take a step back and just break it down bit by bit and do what you can each day. So one of the first things that you really need to do is make certain that you are disciplined. You have to be disciplined in your actions that you take every day in regards to your income-producing activities. When you realize that you are in your business for yourself, then you'll get really, really serious, and you have to really be disciplined. I know a lot of the things that happen with me because I'm not in corporate America. My family know it. My friends know it. So, your day can be taken up with a lot of things that you don't really want to happen because people will treat your business the way you treat it. If you teach them to respect it and respect what you are doing, then they will do that. So they'll kind of back off. So everything that comes up, you don't have to do. You don't have to take, this is my working day. So you got to set your priorities and be very disciplined. And some of those disciplines include some income-producing activities like marketing. Make sure you got a great marketing campaign. Even down to the people that you spend time with in your conversations. Make sure that you're in quality conversations and that you're sharing your business with everyone. Your cards. Always have your business cards on you. Never leave without that. So, and stepping back and planning your income-producing activities, you need to have a weekly plan. You need to know how much time that you're going to have available to work your business. Just because you are in business doesn't mean you have to work it 24/7. So you plan that. And we have a spreadsheet that I developed, and it's really not even my credit. It was just an idea from a previous business that I've been in. But it's a weekly plan sheet, and it really helps me to plan my week out. Even like this week is kind of hectic because I'm planning a big event for my husband. But I still have things on my weekly plan sheet to let me know that my income should not stop just because I have a major event going on. I still have to take time to do the things that I need to do to produce income. You always want to be in business because, you think about the major corporations that you work for, regardless of what's going on, you still have to go to work every day. That means that company is still generating income. So you are your own company. So you still got to have income-producing activities going on. So that's where your weekly plan sheet comes in handy. You set and you plan out your day. Allot out so many hours. I'm going to work 4 or 5 hours on my business, and I'm going to do 4 or 5 hours on household stuff or whatever. But you make sure that you have your week planned out to the T. And sometimes even that can get you off track, and that's where your activity log comes in. There's another spreadsheet that I had. It's called an activity log, and you just simply jot down everything that you did in your business. Take some time at the end of the day. Say, okay, what did I do today? I made 5 phone calls, or I sold this many sets of sprays, or I talked to this many people, or I did a health fair. You've got to be accountable. And it was kind of like an epiphany for me when Denise and I we were having our conversation early on when I got into the business. And I sat down and I had to log everything that I had actually done. And when I really went back and looked at it, I really hadn't done very many income-producing activities, and my income reflected it. It was like, no wonder I'm not making any money. I'm doing a lot of busy work, and I'm not really doing the things that are going to generate some income. So you've got to really, really make sure that you are being accountable and being realistic with yourself. And so you've got to make sure that you know how much time you have to work on your home-based business, and make sure that you prioritize with your activities. Also, you've got to leverage your relationship. When you're spending your time with people, who are you spending your time with? I always like to spend time with people who are a little bit further than me, or people who are where I want to be. Sometimes we get discouraged in this business when we talk to people and they tell us no, or they kind of criticize. Like early on, I was trying to present this phrase to a young lady, and we were talking one-on-one because I knew she had a medical condition. And another person just walked up and said, "Oh, I don't take that stuff. I take liquid vitamins, and, that's all you need." Well, I politely let her know that I was in a conversation with somebody else. But when I looked at that person who was trying to shoot it down, is she where I want to be? What is she doing in her life? Is there anything that I really admire that she's doing? Or is she part of, the scheme of my goals? Does she have something that I want to say? And actually, no. So I don't really have to engage in a lot of conversation or really get that approval from her. But when you deal with people who are where you want to be, or people who have already achieved success in your office, then that's who you kind of want to run with, because then you develop the skills of those highly successful people when you put yourself with them in their company. So it's kind of like having a mentor, but you've got to leverage those relationships of the people that you're, training with. Deliberately put yourself in the way of successful leaders, and have a daily training and mentorship with somebody who's in the industry that you're in. That's why I kind of talk to Denise on a regular basis. I blow her phone up. I'm always talking to her about something, So you've got to kind of be around those people. But here's something that was very interesting that I said that you guys have shared all the time, but it's just a constant reminder of the actual activities. Here's what the top dogs have shared regarding some income-producing activities, and this comes from Lynn Clark, of course, as well. Have at least 5 quality conversations a day. Once again, that's putting yourself in the company of those who are leaders, who are trailblazers, who you want to be like. Then make sure that they're quality conversation. And not only just with those types of people, but quality in terms of, are you talking to someone that you can help? This business is about helping people and healing people. And when you get in a conversation with people, they will kind of let you know where they are and what's going on with them. And so you can find yourself in a situation where you are able to be of service with someone. The greatest measurement of self-worth is how much you've helped someone, or how you've made a difference in somebody's life while you're here on earth. And if all of your conversations are constantly take, and never giving, then you've got to look at the quality of your conversation and the quality of what you're doing. Create a list each day of 5 income-generating activities, and make sure that you do them. Don't even go to bed before you do them. Now, she says 5 here. I would say 1 to 2. At least do 1 to 2 income-generating activities a day. And I mean really concrete. If you want to be successful in your business, you can't just say, "Oh, I called 5 people today, so I'm good." Well, what kind of results did you get from those 5 phone calls? It might take 100 phone calls to get 5 actual income-producing phone calls out of the way. At least you've reached somebody. At least you've either made a sale, or you set an appointment, or you've done something that is result-oriented. You just don't want to go through the motions. You actually want to make sure that you set realistic goals and that you're actually achieving something. And again, you've got to prioritize and schedule your days. Schedule the days that you're going to make phone calls. Schedule the days that you're going to have appointments, so on and so forth. Make sure that you actually have some sort of appointment on your book, whether it is a phone conversation, where you can even do a phone-a-thon. Set aside an hour. Have one spray that you're going to have on sale. A lot of times, if you have, sometimes I always find myself having a lot of Slim left over, more so than the other sprays. Give a little discount. The first 50 people to call with a $25 order will receive, their Slim spray for $15. Do something like that. That's a way to generate some really fast income. But at least it is an income-producing activity, just to be able to generate some income. Make sure that you have set the appointments that you want. If you can only do one TPP a week, make sure that you have a TPP every week. And that doesn't mean waiting until the week gets here. Oh, I got to get a TPP done. No, you do that last week. You make sure that's on the book. In our Denise's region, we do a webinar every Monday and every Thursday. So you can have at least someone on the webinar call twice a week. So that's 2 appointments right there, and all you have to do is follow up with the people, which leads me to my next activity, which is follow-up. Denise always says the fortune is in the follow-up. Absolutely. Customers want to know that you care about them. They want to know that you're not just trying to make a quick sale. And I am so interested. I was such a skeptic with these sprays until I was eager to follow up because I wanted to hear what people had to say. Fortunately for me, I didn't really have to do a lot of follow-up because people were calling me back, telling me the results before I had a chance to follow up with them. But you do want to follow up because you never know, something may have gone wrong. Maybe they had an interaction, or maybe it is something positive. Hopefully it is something positive, or maybe they're not using them correctly. And when I follow up, I find out that there are at least 3 outcomes. Either they love them, they're getting positive results, they can't wait to get more, or nothing has happened, and it's pretty much because they're not really using them, or they're not using them in the correct manner. And sometimes you don't get very many results, and that is just simply because maybe this person doesn't have anything drastically going wrong with them, but the vitamins are doing what they are supposed to do. They're still working, but at least you're finding that out from people. So you've got to follow up. It's really, really key. Be prepared. Do marketing. Have your marketing and your products with you at all times. I never leave the house without a bag that has all of my products in it because I don't know who I'm going to run into. I've always got my business cards handy. But if I'm in a conversation where I meet a person who is very decisive and they know just from hearing about it, okay, I do want to try these sprays. But guess what? I've got them right here. Got them with me. You can even make up little gift sets. I know my business partner and I were kind of toying around with making up little gift sets, maybe putting a slim and a couple of packets of trim, and selling them at a discounted price so somebody can try them. Just something really, really quick to say, here, try this, at a lesser price. And then that will kind of pique their interest. But you are always prepared, no matter who you run into. You'll get in conversations with people. I get in conversations with people in the grocery line. They're talking about a product or they're talking about the day or whatever. I'm going to find a way to turn it back around to the conversation where I want it to be. And then I'm prepared. I've got my business card. I've got some pamphlets. Got some information to tell you about these life-changing sprays. So you just always want to be prepared. And, of course, pass out your cards to everyone. And those are kind of like some of the concrete things that you can do to make sure that you're producing income every day. You don't want to just sit and wait and look and have the end of the week come and say, what have I done? Well, I need this, or I haven't sold any sprays. And then you can look back and say, why? Because you haven't done the things that you know you needed to do to prepare. And one of the main things is you've got to have a non-negotiable financial goal. Whatever it is you need, you've got to really set that goal and just not let the week go by without making sure that you hit that goal. Be consistent in your marketing. And she recommends that you try one marketing strategy for at least 90 days before you implement a different one. And this is really a very imperative, especially when you're first starting out, because there are so many good ideas out there. So many people doing phenomenal things that are working for them. But you've got to find that one thing that's going to work for you. So you've got to give it enough time to try it. At least, even if you don't do 90 days, at least a month. But she says here 90 days. So I kind of respect that. I think that is very realistic because you've got to be able to gauge it, and that's enough time. And then, like I said, just make sure that you share your business with everyone everywhere you go. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to leave you with this one thought from Eric Thomas. He is really, really an awesome hip-hop preacher and motivational speaker, and he is so inspiring. So he kind of told a little story about a young man who wanted to be successful. So he went to a guru, and he told the guru, I want to be successful. I want to have income like you. So can you teach me how to be on the same level? So the guru told him, yes, I can teach you how to be on the same level as me successfully. Meet me at the beach at 4 o'clock a.m. And this guy's thinking, the beach? I want to make money. I don't want to learn how to swim. What are you talking about? so the guru asked him again, if you want to be successful, meet me tomorrow at the beach at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so the young man got there bright and early, 4 o'clock in the morning, dressed in his suit, which he should have probably worn shorts since the guru said beach, but he was dressed in his suit. And the guru asked him, he grabbed his hand and asked him, how bad do you want to be successful? And the guy says, I want to be successful really, really bad. He said, okay, well, walk out on the water. So they walk out in the water, and the guru walked out further than him. And he says, the water was really deep. And he's like, oh, my goodness, this guy's kind of crazy. Why has he got me walking in the water? And he said, well, come out a little further. The water was up to his waist. And he's like, man, this is crazy. He makes money, but he is really, really out of his mind. And he says, okay, come out a little bit further. Well, at this point, the water is up around his shoulder. And he's like, what is this guy doing? And so the guru beckons to him, come out just even a little further. So he gets out, and the water is up around his head. And the guru pushes his head under the water. And the guy is under the water, and he's like, oh, my gosh, this is awful. How can I get, I need to get out of here. And so the guy was just about to pass out. The guru held his head underwater. He was just about to pass out. Just before he passed out, the guru raises him up, and they get back to the shore, and he says, what is the one thing that you wanted to do when you were under the water? He said, I wanted to breathe. And he said, that is exactly right. He said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. So let's make sure that we want to be as successful as we can in our business. And when we are at the point to where we want to be so successful, as much successful as we can in wanting to breathe, then that's when we will achieve the success that we need to achieve. I've said it once before, when the pain of remaining the same is greater than the pain of change, then that's when you'll change. All right, Pastor Dale, back to you.
Wow. My goodness. That was some great information, man. Wow, income-producing activity. And we talk about that all the time, is you have to be out there doing income-producing activity. Otherwise, you will not be producing any income. And the way you laid that out was really, really beautiful. And the great example there about the water. When you don't have breath and you're trying to breathe, the only thing you want to do is get out from under the water so you can breathe again. Boy, I tell you, if we have more and more young people who could believe like that, more and more people who just, their dreams were so much bigger than their problems, man, there'd be so many more successful people in their lives because they would want success more than anything else in life. And I'm telling you, if you don't have that in you, if it's not in you that big, you'll never achieve the things that you want to achieve because you just don't have it in you like that. And so this is a great, great illustration that you gave and great insight as income-producing activity. I always talk about, in everything that we do, if you're starting a new business or, whatever you're doing from a business standpoint, even if you're starting a new job, it's a lot of things that you have to learn. And, there's a curve, there's a learning curve, and then there's an earning curve that completes the circle. Well, you never really get into your earning curve until you get past your learning curve. And so you really want to get to shorten your learning curve so you can begin to get to your earning curve a lot quicker. And one of the ways that you shorten your learning curve is to be plugged in. Be plugged into the calls, be plugged into webinars, be plugged into whatever's going on, the TTPs, where people are talking about the business and talking about what they're doing. There's so many leaders in our company where people are talking about different things and how they're doing things differently and while they're being successful. Well, when you get plugged in like that, you're getting a lot of information from people who already have had the challenges that you're facing and that they've already overcome them. So you don't have to go through those challenges because all you have to do is listen. Oh, wow, I'm going through this right now. Let me do it the way they did it because, it was successful for them. So if you can shorten your learning curve, then you can get right into your earning curve a lot quicker. And one of the biggest things that we have challenge with is getting people to do income-producing activity. You got to get out there and you got to do something every day to increase your business and the opportunity for your business. Before we have you wrap up, Lynn, give us one thing that you do that's really, really successful as far as income-producing activities.
Building relationships with people, I would say. I'm just a natural talker. I love meeting new people. And I think maybe Keisha might have said it Monday. It's one of the things that I hold to. People do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. And everybody has a sign on them that's like, what's in it for me? What about me? Everybody wants that individual attention. And when you can tap into what other people need and get out of what you need, then you will have wealth and riches. Because when you hold a conversation, there is hardly anybody that I hold a conversation with nowadays that they don't get around to either weight loss or health or something they want to do or change about their life. And these vitamin sprays, they have all of that. So it's great to find out what's going on with people and to know that you actually have an answer to meet their needs. So I would say just talking to people, getting out of yourself, having conversations with other people, learning about their needs, and then you're able to help them every time. So that's one of the things that helped me to be successful, because you don't want to run into as long as there are people, you always have business, and you don't want to run into, well, there's nobody to talk to, or everybody has this, or nobody has this product, nobody has anything like it, everybody has a need. So everybody that I run into is a potential customer or business partner, because we have what they need.
Well, I like what you said about always being prepared to make things happen. Having your business card, having your product, always being prepared to make something happen. Never being unprepared. As you said, even if you're in the grocery store line and you're talking to somebody and they say, oh, wow, I would love to try some of those. Oh, well, yeah, let me get your information because I don't have anything on me right now. And you see, you're not prepared. You're not prepared. You got somebody right now ready to go, and you're not prepared. You don't have no business card. You don't have no product. You don't have anything, and you're not prepared. Are you open for business? How are you going to be open for business and not be prepared, So
right.
You got to be prepared. You got to be ready to make something happen all the time, I think that's so wonderful, how you put that. You just got to be prepared.
You do, and it was so funny. Just the other day, I had to run back to the store. I had to go to the store for something, and I grabbed the keys in my purse and I grabbed my bag because I always keep my little bag prepared right by the door. And I grabbed my bag, and my husband was like, I thought you were just running to the store. What do you have your bag for? I said, Terrence, I never leave anywhere without my bag. I don't know who I'm going to run into. So I always have it with me, and I just put it right in the bag, and I'm rolling on out. So in case, because I always see somebody that I wind up talking to, somebody that I know, or even somebody that I don't know, but I just don't want to be in a conversation with anybody and not be prepared. I've been there before, and I hate it. I hate it not having something to give them. And you never know where it's going to lead to. A lot of times it doesn't lead anywhere, but at least they have my information. I've gotten a name. And if you kind of make that a habit of where you go to, kind of play a little game with yourself, just go somewhere and say, I'm definitely going to pass out 5 cards before I leave here, or I'm going to talk to one person before I leave here. I'm not leaving this store, or I'm not leaving this center, or wherever you are. Just play a little game with yourself. I'm not leaving until I have one exchange, I'm giving, and it's easier to get somebody's number if you're giving your information out. You're freely giving your information out, so it's reciprocal. But if you're just asking for someone's phone number or somebody's information, why would I give my information to you? You have no credibility. You don't have a card. You don't have a brochure. You don't have anything. You're just talking about these great vitamins, but I don't see any evidence of anything. Why would I even give you anything? So you've got to have your credentials, be professional, and be prepared. And so it kind of works hand in hand. So it was just funny that he was just questioning me when I was running out. I know I'm running to the store, but I got to have my bag with me because I don't know who I'm going to run into. So the world is an opportunity out there.
World opportunity. Well, Lynn, you have represented your region really, really well. Thank you so much for coming on and being on the call with us today. You did a fabulous job, knocked it right outside the park. I'm sure Denise and the team are really going to be excited about this as they hear, if they're not already listening, if they hear the recording, that you represented your region really, really well, and we're glad to have you on the Team Effort Lifestyle Call.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we're going to go across the big pond to the UK. Dr. Anita Poole. Let's see if she's out there with us. Dr. Anita, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me okay, Dale?
Yes, we can. Take it away. Give us our quote.
Good. Now, just in case the call drops, I'm actually trying out a different system today because I'm out and about. As you know, I usually use the VoIP line from my office, but I've rigged up something on the mobile that I can make cheaper calls to the USA so that while I'm traveling, I can do the TEI calls, etc., and conference calls. So I'm going to be trialing this out for the next week. Just let me know if the call drops and just jump in, but it should be okay. So great call. In the news, very, very relevant stuff to us, and actually some really, really good news in terms of nutrition. Some of the chefs are now, they're realizing that some of their recipes are obviously so rich, got a lot of olive oil. Now, obviously things like olive oil are actually one of the healthier oils, but the reality is if you follow all of these cookery TV programs, that's great. That's absolutely fantastic. But a lot of those recipes are very, very rich recipes in terms of calories. And a lot of the recipes that's out there in their books are very rich in calories. Now, they're making a lot of money out of it, and that's fine, and at least it's teaching people to cook, and cooking, for yourself is much better than buying foods, already made and processed foods, from the supermarkets, etc. However, there needs to be a realization of good, nutritious, lower calories food packed with nutrition, just like our TEN oral sprays and our nutritional drink, packed with nutrition. And one of the chefs, in fact, he's a very famous chef here in the UK, Jamie Oliver. He's opened up many restaurants in the USA as well, and you might have seen him on TV programs in the USA. He is now charging a tax, a special levy on some of the sugary drinks in his restaurants, which is a very brave thing to do to increase the awareness of sugar. He's actually going to be producing a documentary called Sugar Rush, going around the country and going around the world, seeing the effect of high sugar that's in all sorts of foods that we buy, that's processed, that's not natural. And he's going to be looking at the effect on health. And he's even calling on governments to add a sugar tax wherever there's added sugar and put that back into healthcare, because it's causing such, a strain on healthcare in terms of the obesity it's producing, the tooth decay, the diabetes, and then all the knock-on illnesses that are related to those disorders. So, we've got some really, really major things happening in the world now in terms of nutrition and an increasing awareness, but it's going to take a long time for the word to get out there because these people are up against the food and drink industry. He even says in a recent article that he wrote that the food and drink industry has had it good for 50 years, and now it's time for them to start paying back in terms of taxation and in terms of levies put on some of the additives and sugar and salt in foods, start paying some of that back to healthcare. That's how serious the problem has got. In fact, they're even saying now that if you live with healthy lifestyle, and healthy lifestyle means good exercise, fresh air, good nutritional supplementation, good nutritious food, healthy foods, healthy drinks, good sleep, good attitude, positive attitude, less stress, a good taste lifestyle. That's what good lifestyle means, basically, healthy lifestyle. It can increase your length of life by 6 years. And, of course, it decreases your chances of things like diabetes, stroke, high blood pressure, even things like Alzheimer's, dementia. You know, they haven't 100% got to the bottom of exactly why, but even illnesses like that. And to think that we obviously don't claim to treat, cure, or prevent disorders, but to think that we have got testimonials and stories of countless people with diabetes, with obesity, with high blood pressure, with Alzheimer's, with fibromyalgia, with inflammatory disorders, with arthritis. Oh my goodness, the list goes on. Who have improved with our sprays. And, you know, some of the things that our speakers have said on the phone today, you know, they're so important. It is all about developing relationships. It is all about having the products on you wherever you go. It's about having your card on you wherever you go. And in fact, that's what happened to me this morning. You know, I was at a very casual networking, and I was very casual in my approach. And guess what? Skeptical lady, you know, who actually I found out was vegetarian, and I showed her the B12, the B boost, which has B12, B6, B3. Obviously, vegetarians, they're not getting the B12 from their meat, so it's very relevant to that. Guess what? She took the whole packet of sprays, and not just the B boost. She took all 5 of them. So, you know, and it wasn't you know, it wasn't a full on, here's the TEN sprays, this is all about them. It was just a casual chat. I found out about her, she found out about me, introduced the concept of these sprays. And of course she took them away and she's trying them. So, you know, it is all about relationships. And the thing about that chat, it was casual and it was about the person. It was about the relationship first. Then it was about the spray. So, you know, it really, really works. And, you know, just visualize, they say, and some of these quotes now are coming out of The Secret. You know, if you haven't read it already, Rhonda Byrne, get The Secret. These secrets, they say they're secrets, but they've been known by countless successful people in all walks of life for centuries. And they all do the same thing. They imagine exactly where they want to be, what they want to achieve, how they're going to do it, and they rehearse it in their head. It's right in front of them. If they want checks in the mail, literally, the quote is, visualize checks in the mail. If you want wealth, tip the balance of your thoughts to wealth. Think wealth, it says, basically. It says to attract money, focus on the wealth and focus on how you're going to get the wealth, and you will get there. So we've got lots of things to focus on, not only wealth, we've got health. To give well-being to people is a fantastic gift. So give that gift this weekend to everyone you know. Come back refreshed and raring to go on Monday. Give the gift of health and wealth to people. Back to you, Dale.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Lita Poole from the UK. Glad to have you guys on the Team Effort Lifestyle call today. Don't forget the Spanish call at 12:10 today. And looking forward to Monday. Rolling back in here. Have a great weekend. Get out there, share this opportunity with as many people as you can. Don't forget to register for September 26th, East Coast Regional here in Maryland at the Greenbelt Maryland Hotel. More information about that is on our Facebook postings. So look forward to having you guys back on the call with us on Monday. And get off this call and let's go make something happen big. Income producing activity all this weekend. Be prepared to make something big happen at any moment. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the call this week. Look forward to seeing you next week. This call is officially over. Thank you.